Hi, everyone, and welcome to our presentation, Smilefy, Smile Design, the next generation. Very happy that you accepted our invitation. We do have 260 people registered. Everyone who cannot be live here, we send the link, the recording link, so you can rewatch everything and you can, see everything step by step. Welcome, and I'm gonna show you and introduce to you to the Smile Design, the next generation, a complete different approach and a complete different idea, how to motivate the patient, how to take the digital records of the patient, and then how to create really a clinical diagnostic project using Smilefy as a platform, edge technology, new and unique workflows. And I hope you enjoy, and I hope you will like, and you will gain a lot of value using our new vision for aesthetic treatment. So when you open the app, you see the world map, and this world map shows you actually the real-time smile designs. So every single country who has a color, right now people create smiles for their patients, and we have purple is the US #1, and then the second number of cases is Australia, then we have Turkey, then we have Sweden, Norway, welcome Norway, and then we have Spain in the 5th place. The menu is to open the options. Smilefy works on iPhone, iPad, and Mac. All features are available on all 3 platforms. So when we open the app, we do have all the projects that we can do with the app, with Smilefy. Usually we start with the patient digitalization, where we put the digital records of the patient in this project, and you can follow the structured screen, and you know exactly what is the ideal patient digitalization or patient documentation for a very complex aesthetic case. You can also go with a simple structure, and for the simple structure, you see you need a frontal facial picture, the video interview, and the intraoral scans. So when you have the intraoral scan, if you have the video interview and the full smile, you can do all the cases. Of course, you can use the facial scan, you can use the CBCT or the DICOM file, you can use several options, but that's the advanced, story. Let's go with the first step. Your patient wants to see the advantage of an aesthetic treatment. The advantage of an aesthetic treatment can be shown in the 2D smile design. And I want to be very clear, 2D smile design has no clinical value. If you want to create a diagnostic plan or a clinical plan, 2D is very limited, but it is very important to motivate the patient and to show the patient the advantage of an aesthetic treatment. And for that reason, we integrated a very, very easy and quick workflow. You select a picture, you click on smile simulation. Now the facial analysis and the facial characteristics are calculated, and we calculate the smile frame automatically in the face of the patient. You can use the arrows and resize and reposition your smile frame. You can use the sliders for adjusting the smile frame over the face, like this. And you click on smile simulation. Now, we calculate 4 smile simulations. It is very important to communicate with the patient and to discuss with the patient the following options. We do have round shapes open embrasures. We do have round shapes closed embrasures. We have the triangular shapes and the mixed shapes. The lip shadow is too big on this case, but we're gonna fix it. So the patient likes the round shapes, and closed embrasures, and that's the smile design. We can the smile simulation, we can work a little bit on the brightness like this, upper shadow, reducing the upper shadow, and we have the points of the lip selected automatically. We can correct these point lips to make it, of course, as accurate as possible, depending on the quality of the picture, the color of the gums or the lips. The points need to be adjusted, or it is accurate enough. And here we go. We have this result. With the brightness, we need to adjust the brightness so that it looks very, very similar with the brightness of the picture. And the question that we ask is, do you see the advantage of an aesthetic treatment? The patient sees the advantage of an aesthetic treatment and say, I want to know more about what can be done and how can I improve my smile, right? So let's go a little bit back and discuss what can we get as an information and patient preference when it comes to the smile design. In the section Smile Harmony, we have the slider dominance. We can design a monotonic smile, which is the incisal edge of the laterals are exactly at the same smile curve like the canine and the centrals. Or with the slider, we can reduce the height of the laterals and create a dominant smile. This dominance of the smile is a very powerful feature because it changes the complete facial harmony. The smile can be edgy, can be very, very specific and young. So we can design a dominant smile, we can design a monotonic smile, and we can ask the patient, what do you like? That's the first important question. It's a personalized, a customized information for this specific patient, and we can consider this information in the 3D smile design planning. Then, of course, the templates are also very important because patient preferences are different. Maybe we get a picture of the patient before from a younger age where we can see the original form of the smile. Some patients, for example, like a tipped canine. Other ones, they like more bulky canine or a flat incisal edge like this. So all this information is important to find out what is the patient preference. It doesn't have any connection to a 3D smile design. That's very important to understand. 2D design has no connection to a 3D smile design. It is just the information for us. Patient likes round shapes, for example. Patient likes a dominant smile and some details in the smile. We use this information to plan the 3D smile. Okay. Now, when we go to the next screen, we can show the patient like the before and after using the slider. I click on the slider and then the slider moves automatically like this. And I show the before and after picture to the patient, and the patient is now motivated, right? Patient is motivated. Patient wants to get more information about the aesthetic treatment. So we save the case, demo, and we have the first patient motivational smile design. Now, why is it important to understand why 2D smile design is limited? 2D smile design is always frontal. The shapes that we have created in the 2D smile design are done from a specific model, and the model was perfectly frontal. The patient was perfectly frontal, horizontal. So the shape represents or visualize a certain rotation to the front of every single tooth and in the perfect vertical and horizontal position. Now, when we design, when our patient doesn't have a slight rotation to the side or to the ceiling or to the floor, the angulations of the teeth are different. In the 3D Smile design, all these outlines they change with the rotation and with the facial orientation. In 2D design, these outlines stay the same. Now, embrasure, incisal embrasures, everything changes in the 3D. So the 2D Smile design is not precise enough to be transformed into a 3D Smile design. So we have huge differences in the incisal edges and in the embrasures. That's why, purely motivational, patient is motivated, we can go to the 3D Smile design. Smilefy offers you actually a very simple option to create a mock-up, a motivational mock-up in Office. For that workflow, we open the patient documentation and we add to our patient documentation, we add the intraoral scan. We do have here some options and details that we are gonna discuss in detail later. But the idea is when you have a scan, the intraoral scan creates an open shell. It's like an eggshell, and the model looks like this. This model cannot be printed. So we analyze the model, we analyze the errors, we analyze the cracks and holes, and we create a mesh wall, or we close the model. We make sure that the model is in perfect condition and perfect quality. When you design a 3D and when you want to print, you don't have any errors. But the next step is we do have digital records of the patient. We create now the digital patient by calibrating the digital records. Means 1 click, 2 and 3, we select 3 points on the intraoral scan. We set the exact 3 points on the picture and we click calibrate. So let me correct here maybe the points. It is very, very precise. It's even more preciser that I want right now. Let me check. Okay. Another point and calibrate. I don't have the calibration, so let me do something else. Give me 1 second. I just need to select here a different object. So as you can see, let me take the file calibration. Calibrating the upper lower scan with the picture creates for us a digital patient. So we have patient documentation, pictures, video interviews, intraoral scans, CBCT, and then we calibrate all these files, creating a digital version of our patient. And that's what we need actually for the design process, we need the picture calibrated with the intraoral scan like this. You see, this model is closed, means that this model is printable. We can print this model like this. Now, there is a small detail that we need to understand. Pictures have distortion. So pictures, depending on the lens that you use, they don't have the perfect representation of the patient. They are distorted. The intraoral scan is displayed in the system in Smilefy the way you see an object with your eye. It's called depth of field. It's called field of view and the depth of field. So the model is perfectly the way you see it with your own eyes. Different systems, they do a trick. They distort the picture and they put the picture, they calibrate the picture with the object, which is a little bit wrong, because if you start thinking and analyzing the picture, and I modify the picture and distort the picture so that it's matching the intraoral scan, you could say, I don't like the buccal corridor of the patient. It's too wide or too narrow. And your analysis of the picture could be wrong. So the most important thing is we let both files in the original system, in the original stage, and it's important to match canine to canine. Canine to canine is perfect. And then the premolars and the molars are going to be just a little bit out, but that's not a problem, because when we design 3D, that's going to be always over the intraoral scan. Okay. This is the digital patient. Picture, intraoral scan. If we have the CBCT bone, then we have the CBCT bone. If we have the facial scan, then we have the facial scan. We can add more and more files to our digital patient. Now, let's create a mockup in-house, in-office mockup, and give the patient a very, very special way to feel the new smile, the advantage of the new smile. This mockup is going to be motivational, and the workflow of the 3D smile design is very, very structured, and it helps you actually creating a mockup in a very easy way in Office. So the first step is to calibrate the files, frontal, profile, and occlusal. Very important to always scan the palatal area so that you see the midline of the skull. And we have now the occlusal curve. The occlusal curve defines the 3D smile frame that we generate like this. It's a 3D smile design. It's a 3D smile frame. And we define the occlusal curve. The most accurate calibration and every single step that you do, the easier it's going to be to finalize actually the mockup, because if everything is done properly based on our workflow, everything is calculated very, very precise. It's an automatic generating calculation, and the mockup is going to be very, very easy and fast. Now, you do have the 3D smile frame, which is different than the 2D smile frame, right? Very important to understand. We do have the occlusal plane. We do have the angulations of every single tooth. We have the green, that's the midline. So if we want to move the midline to the dental midline, we can do it like this, or to the facial midline, we can do it by moving the slider and changing the midline. And the next step is very, very important. The frontal view of a smile is one thing, but we don't have any details about the width of our smile. In this view, we can now, with the sliders, we can set the width of every single tooth. You see the distal and mesial line of every single tooth, and now this button red asks us, click me and generate the smile. And we generate and calculate your 3D smile design. We go to the next step, and now we do the adjustments for the 3D smile design. We do the adjustments facially driven. We do have a very good start with the size and position of our teeth. And we have 4 views because everything what we see in the frontal view is different than in the occlusal view. And I'm going to show you immediately what I mean, and so that we will understand why these 4 views are important. That's the 12 o'clock view. We see how the teeth are orientated on the occlusal, on the smile curve or occlusal plane that we name occlusal plane. And now we have the teeth here. So why 4 views are important? If I take this central and I move it to the front, like this, in the occlusal view, you see that these 2 centrals are not aligned at all. But in the frontal view, you don't necessarily see and can and understand that the 2 centrals are completely wrong. That's why in 4 views, you can easily move and rotate and place your teeth in the right position, like this. And then when you move one tooth, you make sure that the rotation and the position is perfect. Let's increase a little bit the size of the laterals. So she wanted an dominant smile, but not so much. Now it looks better. We do have now the nice occlusal curve. We do have now the design. We do have now the dominance of her smile. You can click on a tooth. You see, you can click on a tooth and then you can change the position. And very important, let's put the smile in the mouth first to see now and to analyze the smile in the face. That's very, very important. It's a facially driven smile design. Now, we do have a huge, actually new incisal edge improvement, which is for sure too big, but that was caused by a very, very important analysis that we have done. And I'm going to show you why the 3D is also important and the 2D doesn't give you a lot of information. If you take a look at the picture, all right? Let me change the, so if we take a look at the picture, we see what's the problem with her smile, but we don't see one of the most important information ever. It's a reverse smile. It's a reverse smile. That's why the position of the picture is important, because if the patient looks down and it's not perfectly frontal, we analyze the picture and we say, oh, we can work a little bit on the interproximal spaces, we can work on the new smile curve, but we don't see that actually the smile is inverted. Now we need to define and to decide how to manage this inverted smile. In this case, we do have the smile curve, the smile frame, like this, following beautifully actually the smile curve, but it is too much. So to make it easy, we group all the teeth, we group them, and with the tools, we can move them more gingival, like this. So we have tools to make it simple. 3D smile design simplified, right? We can move them lingual, like this. Too much. So everything what we do is guided and simple. Now, if you can see at the top, we have an info button, info. If you click on the info button, it gets green, and every single title has an info icon. If you click on the info icon, that's the complete tutorial explaining what is every single feature.
In this tutorial, we show how to use the transformation tool.
You see transformation tool. So you can click on the info button and you get tutorials for every single feature that we have in the app. Okay. Now let's go back to our smile design. We see our smile design. We see that's our mock-up, right? It doesn't look so bad, but let's analyze with a very unique feature, the smile analysis. We do the visual design, and also we analyze the design scientifically. That's a beautiful book and a beautiful study from one of our dear mentors and pioneers of smile design, Galip Gurel, the smile analysis. And now we see that the angulations of every single tooth by just clicking a button are different: 13.1, 11.3. So if I like this angulation of this canine, I click on my canine and I say reflect design. Now we have the canines angulated on 13.1 degree. Looks much better. Even the lateral, I like it. We have a very harmonic and very beautiful smile. Let's go to the zenith analysis. The zenith analysis is also very important because sometimes you do have a gum recession and the patient needs to understand why it's important to have, oops, that was the wrong left central. Okay, but we need, okay, right central. So I click on the button and I define the highest point on the gingiva for every single tooth. Here, that this one was wrong, that's the lateral. Okay, now I analyze the gingiva triangles. The gingival triangles, I see we do have, with the gum recession, with everything what we need to do, 5.4 degrees, 8 degrees, 7.3, 8.4. We have different angulations, which means that in our gingiva analysis, these two triangles are different. So with a gingivectomy treatment, with maybe crown lengthening, so now you can analyze, diagnostics the situation of the patient and think, how can you improve and create the smile symmetric, beautiful, and how can you improve the everything else, you know, in the smile. You have 7.48 millimeters, you have 16.8, 16.4 degrees. That's 168 actually. That's this angulation between the zenith of the canine and the central. Analysis, you can analyze the smile, you can decide what do you want to improve or to change. You can put the smile into the mouth and then analyze with the face. That's the smile analysis. So we can go back to our tools. We do have all the angulations and all the information data. Let's see, that seems to be fine. We can use the very unique feature of 3D rendering. So if I go and I turn on the lights, I can get the light reflections and I can put a color on the teeth, you see. Now I have the 3D rendering, the teeth are very close to the patient's teeth colors. Now I can see the improvements of the smile and I can show my patient this result and discuss more details. Also, very, very important is the fact that we can click on the tooth and in the face, we can change, you see, we can change the position of the 3D design. Lingually, buccally, and so on. That's also helping, you know, designing facially driven. When the patient is interested, of course, in the mock-up and in the design, and the patient confirmed, you know, the templates and everything else, we can now prepare the mock-up by just deleting from the bite everything, the whole excess of the material, and then create a mock-up like veneers. So we can use the brushes, the mesh editor, and I'm going to show you quickly what we can do with this option. So you see, we do have a lot of access in this area. So I can take the flattened brush, I can click on the tooth, and now I can delete everything what is in the palatal area and create a mock-up only on the buccal surface like this. The design is not changed. The gingival margins, everything is good enough, so we can apply. Usually we delete everything what is in the buccal surface, so in the palatal area, so that the patient has the feeling of veneers and sees the smile, the new smile. Now, let me go to a very, very important part of the 3D smile design, and that's it, the information of templates. We cannot just randomly select templates and put them on every random patient. Why? Because the buccal surface of every single template is different. So we do have, for example, JCP, it is a round buccal surface. If we go to the template called D, it is a flat buccal surface. Now, this information is not available in 2D, right? Let's say the patient likes very much this form of this template, and now the patient has a very round buccal surface. You will not be able to just put the flat on the round patient's tooth because it's going to be very additive. It's going to be very bulky. It's not going to be a good fit and feeling for the patient. More than that, if you prep and you put the wrong template on the patient loses the lip support. Because if the original teeth of the patient are bulky and round, and suddenly you lose like 1 or 1.5 millimeters because it's you select a flat template, the patient loses the lip support. So we need to be very careful how to select the templates for the patient, and to be very close to also its natural and biological availability. That's one aspect of the templates. Then we created something called 3D Phi. 3D Phi is a unique feature, and it is very, very easy now to do experiment with teeth and teeth form. We know that our patient likes round shapes. By selecting the round shapes, we filter now here. Oops, no. We filter here all the round shapes. So we have now here a list of round shapes. We can select embrasures, open embrasures, or closed embrasures. Now we filter all the round shapes and closed embrasures. And we need round, the round buccal surface, right? Now we have F06, F08, F02, F01, J01, and JCP. These templates have these characteristics: round form, closed embrasures, buccal surface, round. And now we can click on Generate Smile. Now look what happens. If we click on Generate Smiles, now we combine these templates, because we know these templates can be combined for our patient, and we generate a complete new smile. As you can see, the facial harmony of the patient is completely different. We generate another smile. Again, it's completely different. The facial harmony, everything is complete different. And now we can experiment and combine templates that we usually don't combine. We can compare by clicking on all these smiles generated. You see, now we can combine, we can compare by clicking smile 1, smile 2, smile 3, smile 4, and we find finally, the smile that the patient likes. That's the 3D Phi, working with the characteristics of the templates and combining exactly what is important. These are the templates: smile analysis, mesh editor. One of the very unique, and I promise you, very unique features is a feature called Liquify. The Liquify feature allows you, for natural restorations, to adjust the gingival margins, to adjust incisal embrasures in a unique way, never done before. Let me show you what I mean. That's our design. Like this, I place my design in the frontal position. Now, let's say we want to discuss very, very specific adjustments with our patient. I click on the tooth, and you see I have the points. If I click on these points, I can liquefy the tooth, and I can adjust the gingival margins, very, very precise, without destroying the natural surface of the tooth. If my patient doesn't like the embrasures, or I decide that I need to go just a little bit more gingival, you see, I can change and move the full area and change the embrasures. I can also adjust the interproximal spaces or the contact points very, very easily by just selecting the points. And now look how I designed my central in a very, very easy and different way that usually we design. Also, when I consider that this buccal surface is a little bit too round, too bulky, I can flatten by just moving. Look how you flatten the buccal surface, and you decide how much you want to flatten the canines. That's fine. Let's go to the next one. So these tools are very, very easy to use, and these tools make a smile so different, so customized, so specific for you know, the excellence of the smile. You can select every single important detail, and then you apply the smile, and here we go. That's the 3D liquefy. You can now create a mockup, unify, export, and you have the direct printing connection out of Smilefy, so you can print. We do have a lot of features, you see, and sometimes it gets a little bit confusing, because we can do a lot of stuff. So we have a lot of features, head features, we can do full art implant bridges, we can do smile design, ideal design, we can digitally prep, we can digitally extract. It's a lot of features, but to make it simple, top left, you have the workflows. And I think the workflows are the best way to start, because you say, what do you want to achieve? I want the mockup and shells. You select the workflow, mockup and shells. You have a timeline. You have a structured, you have a guided structure. You click on templates. You select your templates. You click on tools. You readjust the position of your teeth, like buccally, lingually, size, and so on. If you're done, you go to the smile analysis. Then you analyze the smile with the option smile analysis. Reference lines, you can put the lines. The lateral is a little bit too. Now we have a beautiful symmetry. Same here with the canines. Moving down. Now it's better. Okay, next step, mesh editor. I delete everything in the buccal surface, in the palatal area with the brushes. Then I go to the CAD presets, and the CAD preset tells me mockup. I click on the mockup, and the Smilefy generates the mockup automatically for you. You can send to the print, you can save, and it's done. These workflows make everything simple, and you see, export 3D print. If I want to 3D print, I click on the 3D print, I select my printer, and I can print my mockup. So I don't need to save, I don't need to send files, I don't need to do anything. Everything is in one platform connected. That's the mockup. One file, you see, now it's no more design, it's just one file. That's the mockup. Closed mesh, ready to print, and that's our result that we print. So we have guided workflows for composite veneers. We have guided workflow for implant bridges, all on X, and so on. Of course, we do have CAD features. We have vertical dimension of occlusion. We have the cross section. That's very, very important if you have the lower or upper design, or even if you want to create a composite restoration with the cross section. We have a very, very easy workflow for cross section. For example, you do have the teeth chart, and you click on whatever tooth you want to see in the cross section. 8, 9, 10, 11. You see, you just click and the cross section jumps to the place you want to see the cross section. Now, if you see that our design is like this, you can click and correct. You can keep the same angulation of your tooth like the patient, if that's the correct angulation. And also you can decide the thickness of your design, the thickness of your composite restoration, or the thickness of your mocha. You click measurement, click the 2 points, 1.5 millimeters. So now you have, oops, too many measurements. Okay, again, 1 and 2, 1.1 millimeters. Now that's the thickness of your restoration. Then we go to the design, smile analysis. We can still, in the smile analysis, we have also the ratio. That's something that I like very much, because if you have the frontal view, right? Frontal view of your design, and you want to know the ratio of your design, you have here the frontal view, you have the centrals, you lock them, and now you can put the cage or this in the distal mesial gingival incisor like this, and here we go. That's your ratio analysis, like this, right? 85, 86, very close. Why? Because the gingival margins. So now you can decide what to do and how to change. But I see here, I think, because I changed the design, I think I see here that in the occlusal view, we need to check if we modified something by mistake. Oh, yeah. You see, we modified this one by mistake, so we need to bring it now at the same level, and this one also, and now we can calculate the ratio. So we do have a lot of tools. Everything is harmony, everything is smile design, everything has to be easy to use, and the most important thing is what we need to do is facial harmony, smile design, patient communication, lab communication, and getting everyone involved, having all the important information on our platform. That's the in-house, in-office mockup. Everything starts with the mockup for the treatment. No, let me save the case. So in the version 3.5, we do have another very powerful workflow and project, and I'm going to show you right now, planning edentulous patients, full arch implant bridges or dentures also. We design facially driven the full arch implant bridge or the removable denture. We can use a picture with a wax ring. We can use a picture with no teeth at all. And we can create the facial harmony, the design, everything in a way then we have a good start for the patient. 3D smile simulation. So let me start with the picture with the wax ring, right? So we have the wax ring. How do we discuss with our patient what templates, what form of the teeth do we want to produce in our full art implant bridge or removable denture? With the wax ring is actually easy. We know the incisal edge, we know the occlusal plane, we know the edges of the canines. So we have these 3D outlines. That's very important to know that, or to understand that these lines are 3D, because we can now rotate our design. As you can see, that's a 3D object. We can rotate our design and orient the design to the patient facial rotation, like this. We can scale and create the distal of the canines. We do have the central, so we have all the lines that we need to create the smile. We do have the facial flow also, so now we can analyze the AI characteristics of the face, philtrum, chin, facial flow. So now we can bring our template or our design to the philtrum, so that we keep the dental midline with the philtrum to have a certain lip harmony. And we can go with the lower jaw, mandible to picture, because we need also to adjust the lower design to the picture. Maybe our design is in centric occlusion, but if the lower jaw is open, then we can move the lower jaw to the position. Mark lip. Let's see if the lip is marked accurate enough. That's like this. We can correct. And now, okay, like this, that's fine. And this one, like this, okay. Good. And now magic happens. What do we have? We have the outlines. We put the outlines in the mouth, and that's the design, the 3D design. That's a 3D design. That's a 3D object, you see, in the mouth of the patient. Full art implant bridge or removable dentures. We go to the 3D light. We add light reflection and structure. And here we go. Maybe we add A1 and the intensity like this. And that's the simulation of the full art implant bridge or removable denture with the patient. Oops. We can play with the buccal corridor. You see, we can play with the buccal corridor. We can play with the dominance of the smile. And of course, we can play with the scale. Because if we think it's really way too big, we can decrease the height. We can readjust, and here we go. That's the new result. We go to the templates and we say, dear patient, now let's discuss the form of your teeth. Do you like round closed embrasures, or do you like this one? You see, we recalculate automatically the templates, and this smile is completely different from this one or this one. So now we can discuss and find the template that the patient likes and create for the patient a denture or a full art implant bridge with the form that the patient likes. Also, if the patient has a picture of himself long time ago with his teeth, then you can compare and find out, you know, what templates were the original patient, and then you can do something that is very similar. We do have 26 templates here. different templates, square embrasures, round embrasures, open gingival embrasures, everything what you can imagine. And every single template are natural restorations, natural templates. So they were scanned from patients with beautiful smiles. So nothing is computer generated. There are very, very special natural templates. Good. That's the templates. That's the 3D smile simulation. So you do have now a lot of new features and new workflows to organize the motivation of the patient, to organize the 3D smile design, to organize the data of your patient. The patient is happy with the simulation. We go and save the case, and we have the case management. Now, it was very important for me to create something that also put you in a very safe situation when it comes to the digital planning. For that reason, we integrated a project called digital signature. You discuss with your patient now the form of the teeth. You discuss with your patient the everything regarding to the full art implant bridge. Now you want to print and you create a test drive, right, for this full art implant bridge. And the patient, he was selecting the files, selecting the templates the way he selected. So you can click on the digital signature, and you, depending on what you discuss with your patient, you can now create a digital signature and ask the patient to sign. Because let's say it was, I don't remember, Smilefy 06, it was the template, I think. And you say, okay, it's gonna be full arch implant bridge instead of a removable denture, and then the patient signs whatever it is, and then you can save, and you have the approval and the signature of the patient that it was discussed, it was planned, and now you print or you start with the production. If the patient comes back and say, you know what, I don't like it, then you have the digital signature, and then you can charge again because you need to redo the digital planning and everything like this. Also, a very, very important feature that I want to share with you in the final presentation of the Smilefy 3.0. So you can motivate the patient, you can discuss with the patient the form, the design, the preference. Afterwards, you can do the 3D planning. And now let's discuss a little bit the diagnostic and the clinical planning. Also, very important to know that you can share actually the patient with your team members. You can share the case, the full case, with your lab technician, with your surgeon, with your ortho specialist. So you can create like a team that works on one project. And then it's very, very important because everybody has the information in the plan. So ideally, when you have an interdisciplinary planning case, you can create a patient study. So let me show you what the patient study is, because I think this feature is going to be for the future or for the communication, one of the most important features. Just imagine you have the digital patient in the cloud, and now you have different specialists accessing the digital patient and adding to the digital patient their analysis and their treatment plan. If you do have a case with pictures, intraoral scans, CBCTs, then we create a patient study, and the patient study works like this. Face intraoral scan, CBCT file, the mesh editor file. Oh, it's going to take a little while because we are on the internet. Let me go step by step. and the AI diagnostics means that it's going to take a while, but I can explain to you. We do have the CBCT viewer, as you can see. That's also integrated in the app. Okay, here we go. Beautiful. DiagnoCat. You'd have the AI diagnostics with DiagnoCat integrated in the app, right? So now you can go and discuss with your specialist and say, oh, tooth 13, bone loss, I don't know, whatever it is, right? Whatever it is wrong with this tooth, you have the CBCT viewer, and you have the option to go and to say, for whatever reason, let's consider that the second premolar needs to be extracted. You click on cell extraction, and with the brush, you draw with the color over the tooth extraction, and you say, after the extraction, we're going to place an implant. So everyone involved in this procedure, in this step, is going to add information to the case, and you can record audio notes. You can record audio notes, and I'm going to say, I cannot access the microphone because now the microphone is accessed through Zoom. But that's the idea. So you can record now audio notes, and these all notes are going to be saved in the case. Everyone involved in the case can open, can decide, listen to the audio notes, see the drawings, see the treatment plan. During the design, all these colors are going to be visible in the 3D case, and then everybody's going to know, I don't need to worry about this premolar because it needs to be extracted. We need to do ortho on this teeth. I'm going to design maybe a bridge. You see, you can put a bridge, you can put a crown, veneers, crown lengthening, and so on. And the technician or the designer is going to know what's going to be every single step of the treatment. So now the microphone is has crashed. Let me check. Okay. So we do have the patient study, and the patient study is going to be very, very important for communication. No more emails, no more WhatsApp, no more text, no more nothing, because if you get a case like this and you can see the CBCT, the diagnostics, and everything in that case, you can make the decisions, you can talk with your specialist directly, opening the case from 4 devices in 4 different offices, and you can discuss the treatment plan. Now, you see, Smilefy, the vision of Smilefy is to create something that allows you not only to create a motivational design for your patient, to motivate the patient, to sell the case, but to create also a comprehensive treatment plan, share visually every single step of the treatment with your patient, explaining what's the design, what's the advantage of different treatment that you decide. And here is a beautiful example. Let me check. Here is a beautiful example that I want to show you. The visual communication is so important. We do have 2 designs like this. That's design number 1, that's design number 2. Now, the patient says the way the design looks like is like this, right? That's the 3D design, simulation, not the simulation, the 3D smile design with the CBCT, with the smile and so on. And the patient says, beautiful, I want this design. But to achieve this design, we do have in Smilefy the two options, this one and this one. And now we can go and explain to the patient, in the first case, we need the crown lengthening. We don't have the biological width for this size of veneers. In the second case, if you don't want the gingivectomy, the crown lengthening, then we have a different result of the treatment. And now it's visual, the patient understands, and it's a complete different way of communicating and discussing with the patient. So I know maybe it's a lot of information, but I wanted to show you, you know, the full image and vision of Smilefy, from motivational to clinical and diagnostics. And we do have, if you decide to start with Smilefy, we do have tutorials, we do have online courses, we do have in-person courses, so we can help you getting started with digital dentistry, with digital records, digital patient planning, communicating, everything digitally. We give you, of course, our full support on starting your journey with Smilefy and in the digital world of dentistry. And Samia is in the chat. Let me see if Samia is in the panel. Samia, are you in the panel? Yeah, your co-host, right? So she can, let me see. So she can help you getting started. If you want to know more information about our courses, the tutorials, where to start, we have for you this program step by step. So everything what we do is, okay, you're here, I'm going to promote you to the panelist. Okay, now you're in the panelist, Samia. You can talk to me.
Hi, yes, now I'm here. How are you?
So Samia can give you all the information, how to get started, how to go step by step. Don't worry, everything what we, the whole education program is step by step by step. So we're gonna start easy, and then we're gonna grow with every single case. With every single case that we have, we're gonna grow to the level of expertise that you are gonna have fun, you know, designing smiles in a complete different way and in a complete different workflow.
So actually, Ralph, we have a promotion including the online Smile Designer course.
Okay.
I'm going to leave the link in the chat, and also my phone number, my email address. Who is interested, please let me know. Okay.
Perfect. So if you do have questions now regarding the app or the workflows and everything, let me know. I'm gonna go through the chat messages so I can answer every single question. And otherwise, you know, everything what you need, we are here. The whole team can help you. You know, the mockup for another printer. Of course, yeah. So you can export the mockup on your desktop, sending an email, whatever you need, and then you can import to your printer. If you have a printer that we don't have, you can send us a message on support@smilefy.com, and then I'm gonna check if we can add this printer into our list, and then you can also print directly from Smilefy. Of course, we send you the recording when we finalize or when we end the presentation. Then we send you the recording so that you can rewatch everything step by step. Okay. Yeah. So Samia is here. She's gonna answer the question. Thank you so much for your time. I know how hard it is, you know, to take 1 hour out of your working day. But I hope you saw the advantage and you like everything what we do. And we are here to support you and to help you getting started with digital dentistry and, you know, the new generation of smile design. Thank you very much.